It's Friday, the 27th of May, 2022. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Amyler.
Good morning, Michael.
All right, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's jump into it. Story number 1, Sean. Many Australians are about to start paying much more for energy with the regulator greenlighting a price hike from July 1. It really just adds to the growing list of higher prices now for households, doesn't it?
Oh, you're not wrong. We've got incredibly high petrol prices, near record highs. The cost of fruit and veggies are rising. We've got interest rates on the up, so people are paying more on their mortgages and loans. And now energy prices in New South Wales will rise by more than 8% and 5.5% in Queensland. There'll also be increases in South Australia. Small businesses face increases of up to 13%. Higher wholesale prices, the war in Ukraine and soaring coal and gas prices have forced the Australian Energy Regulator to lift the default price, allowing energy retailers to charge more. Now, the regulated chair, Claire Savage, said retailers need to recover their costs or risk going out of business. She said households should shop around to get the best deal.
All right, on to story number 2, Sean. And after a pretty kind of globe-trotting start, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has had his first full day locally in the job. He said he was increasingly confident that Labor will end up with 76 seats in Parliament, which would, of course, give the government a majority in its own right.
That's right. They've got 75 and there are 4 seats too close to call, 2 in Queensland, 1 in Victoria and 1 in New South Wales. Meanwhile, Mr Albanese said Australia needed to better engage with its neighbours in the Pacific region. The comments came after a leaked draft agreement and 5-year plan apparently being put forward by Beijing to several South Pacific nations, a worrying event for Australia. The Prime Minister's also revealed that he has a much better working relationship with Peter Dutton, the incoming Liberal leader, than he did with Scott Morrison, though I dare say it probably wasn't a very high benchmark.
No, I can't imagine it was. Sean, story number 3. This is an interesting one. It's a takeover bid with a couple of little unusual elements to it. Artificial intelligence group Appen has received a $1.2 billion bid from TELUS International, though there's some rumours that the Canadian group may already have walked away from the deal.
That's right. The offer came in at $9.50 a share, close to a 50% premium to the group's trading price on Wednesday afternoon. Now, yesterday, Appen's share price jumped 29% before it went into a trading halt. That took it to $8.27. Once it went into that trading halt, rumours started to swirl that the deal was off. It does seem like a massive premium, but Appen's share price has tumbled this year, along with most of the tech sector, and $9.50 is where the stock was trading in the middle of January. In fact, less than 2 years ago, it was at $40. Basically, Appen's revenue has been hit by changes to privacy rules from Apple. Not quite sure where this is going to go. Certainly the Canadian group is interested, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, now story number 4, Sean. Every year I love this because we see the Financial Review Rich List being released today. Once again, though, no big surprise, Gina Rinehart has topped the list.
Yep, 3 years in a row. She's now worth $34 billion. She did actually lose the title briefly late last year when the guys from Atlassian, Mike Cannon-Brookes and Scott Farquhar, overtook her when Atlassian's share price soared. That's down 60% since then. So those two come in at 3 and 4. Andrew Forrest, he comes in at 2. Other names on the list, Anthony Pratt, the cardboard king, Harry Triguboff, the property doyen, Clive Palmer comes in at number 7, the mining billionaire. The election didn't hurt his wealth too much. It jumped $7 billion to $20 billion. There's also the Canva duo Melanie Perkins and Cliff Obrecht, Frank Lowy, shopping centre king, and finally, the boss of Glencore, Ivan Glassenberg. That's the top 10.
Yeah, there's some pretty significant wealth on that list. Now, Sean, story number 5, our last one. This is pretty incredible. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has told politicians and the public to move on from the latest Partygate crisis, in which new photos show him at a party during COVID lockdowns.
Yes, I wonder whether that's good PR or not. An independent investigation by bureaucrat Sue Gray shows that 16 parties were held at 10 Downing Street during strict COVID lockdowns. Now, police have issued 126 fines, including to Mr Johnson, his wife and the Chancellor. The Prime Minister said he'd been humbled by the experience and had learnt lessons. Ms Gray's report, which was released in the last 48 hours, says there were failures of leadership and judgment in Number 10 and the Cabinet Office. The public not surprisingly, have been really upset about the party, saying Mr. Johnson and his staff acted as if they were above the law. I think they've got a point.
Yeah, I do too. All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Friday, the 27th of May, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast, and if 5 minutes isn't enough, then you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.